Hey guys, Utah Steve here, back for another outdoor adventure. We are going on a day hike today on the Indian Trail, which is not too far up Ogden Canyon, about literally 10 minutes from my house. It's a beautiful trail. It's a trail that was used by Native Americans to bypass the Ogden River, so they didn't have to cross it. Things are different now. There's a highway running through the canyon. The river isn't as wide as it was, and so it's an interesting trek to take, knowing the history of it. I've been here before. I even did kind of a little bushcrafty day hike here last year about this time. Here's a look at that. We'll be passing by that sort of bushcraft structure that you saw me in there. It's been there for years. I don't know who built it, but people keep adding to it, taking away from it, but it seems to still stay there. Anyway, the trail begins here in Ogden Canyon, winds up to a peak, not really a peak, but kind of a summit, and there's a small shelter up there. That's where we're hiking to, and then we'll hike back. I could continue on the trail and literally end up in my neighborhood, because there's another trailhead connecting to it at the top of my neighborhood. So you might be asking why I don't just drive to the top of my neighborhood and hike it that way. And that's because the other direction, we've had so much snow that some of the trail is just a slope of snow, and to try to cut across that is kind of risky and dangerous with some really steep drop-offs. This direction, I know I won't have that problem. I do have my micro spikes. I'm about to put them on, because even though temperatures are in the, well, right now it's about 32, but they're going to be in the upper 40s to mid to upper 40s Fahrenheit. So it's going to be a great day for hiking. The trail itself is pretty frozen and snowed over. And even though it's Sunday, there's only 4 cars here. And I think one of them over here has a camper on the back. I think those people are just camping right there. Anyway, so let's get out of the car. Let's get on the trail. I've already done a video about my day hike gear. The only thing different is I brought a different beanie with me than the one I showed in that video a couple of weeks ago at this point. So that's it. I don't have anything else to say. Let's get out and enjoy nature, shall we? Good to go. There's a pack. Let's get out of here. This old kiln was used to forge brickwork for this area. But back in the 1930s, during the Depression, men were hired to come up in here and basically build the wall along the river and make way for the highway. And they used this kiln to make bricks. You can actually get up there in the summertime. And of course, a-holes have to come along and tag it pretty regularly, actually. Anything that's easy to access, taggers like to destroy it. Here's our little kiosk with our information, but I've already kind of explained a lot of it. This also connects to a place called Coldwater Canyon, where I also did a winter camp. Here's a glimpse of that. Over here we have a hammock and then a tarp. This tarp is reflective on the underside, so it held the heat in quite well. And of course my setup today. Whoa! There we go. Not a gamble that you should take, but I did. And there you have it. So go ahead and post your anyway, it worked out fine. I took my stuff sack over here for the hammock here and I just put any extras in it so that they went on the ground. Things like stuff sacks. I have some hand warmers in there. Some in my pocket. That was probably a couple years ago. I don't even remember. But that canyon's up here as well. I've never hiked all the way into that canyon, so maybe this summer that's something I'll try. Or maybe even spring. Here's our trail. Looks like we've had a lot of snowshoers. Possibly people pulling sleds up here. The way it's flattened down. Definitely skis. We'll go higher and higher away from the road. And further into more of a secluded area. There's our trail up there. Basically a bunch of switchbacks till we get right up there, and then it heads further up. This stuff makes me mad. I better not ever catch somebody doing that. It'd be the last thing they ever do. That's the top of these switchbacks. Highway obviously is right there. Onward and upward. started overheating. I'm kind of taking this hike slow and steady. Someone's coming, I think. Hello?
Just one more back there.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, no problem. I've never seen snowboarders on such a skinny trail. I really hope I didn't just lose that footage. My camera keeps crashing on me. It did this at my backyard overnight gear test video, and I still haven't edited that at this point. I might need to get a new camera, and I really like this one. Anyway, back there I didn't want to get hypothermia, so I stopped and cooled down, took my hat off. Taking this hike slow and steady. The last thing I need to do right now is get all sweaty in the freezing cold mountains. Not a good time. These micro spikes are awesome. Uphill, downhill, it doesn't matter. They're digging right in. So I just passed two female hikers. I'm not assuming their gender. They were girls. Anyway, they were warning me that the path all the way up to the little shelter is pretty sketchy, and the snow has made it not impassable, but difficult at best, and they had to turn around and come back because they were afraid they were going to go off the edge if they tried to cross the snow. If you can kind of picture what I'm talking about, it's like the snow came right across the trail like this, and you have to go over it that way, and there's a good chance of sliding off. Only instead of a small embankment like this, you're talking life or death, or possibly needing rescue. She said it's beautiful, but you can only go so far if you're smart. She said you can try, but they said they do stuff all the time out here, and that was too sketchy for them. So I'm going to take their word for it, and what we're going to do is hike into the campsite that I just showed you a clip of from that winter hammock camp I did. And we'll hang out there and we'll talk. We'll have some lunch there and kind of explore a little bit. They said they saw a female moose up here, so I'm hoping I can get some video of that without being chased up a tree or something. Mooses are meaner than bears by far. Very territorial. Here's our first bridge. Right there with a little creek running under it. I've used this creek as a water source many times. I don't have a water filter with me today, but I have plenty of water, 3 liters, and we're not going that far. That's not dog poop. Huge hoof prints. Moose. And it's like right next to it, possibly a rabbit. came from. That's where we're going. Yep, moose. One stride there. 4 or 5 feet later, another one. Interesting. So the trail you see behind me is an uphill stretch. It's not too far, but it's kind of taxing on the old body. At the top of it is a bridge, and then the path, the trail, splits into 2 sections. It continues on the Indian Trail towards that shelter that we're not going to after all, and the other one splits over to Coldwater Canyon, which is where that little campsite is. So what I'm gonna do though, I keep having to stop and cool down because I'm sweating a lot and it makes me nervous to sweat this much in the cold. We're gonna go to the top of this where the bridge is, and we're gonna sit there and take a breather for a minute, take off my coat, air out for a while, even though the campsite is only a little ways from the bridge. Because I didn't come up here to die. Go figure. Okay. Here's the way we came up. Here's our split in the trail. Coldwater Canyon is that way, and our bridge is right over here along the Indian Trail. It's like the snowboarders have had their fun there. I guess it isn't sleds people brought up here. Snowboards and snowshoes. We're gonna have to figure out where to sit. That bench is covered in snow. Hasn't been sat on since before it snowed. That bench is buried. It looks like somebody has sat on it. There's some butt marks. Not a moose, just a person. So there's never any water in this. Probably during runoff. Of course during runoff, because it's a big ravine coming out of Coldwater Canyon. But during the summer or even spring, sometimes there's just nothing in it. So I don't know. It's not a regularly flowing stream. It's all runoff. But since someone has impregnated the snow with their butt cheeks, that's kind of catchy. Sounds like a rap song. Impregnated my snow with my butt cheeks. Anyway, I'm going to take out my sit pad and set it there, and we'll cool off. I'm going to set my pack here. Okay, so we can sit there without getting our butts wet. How big am I? Just me, just my butt. Got my tree hanging up on my coat. Oh my gosh. That's not hypothermia, that's just exertion. So my coat is hanging up on the tree. My backpack, I've got it up off the snow, sitting on that board. We'll just chill here for a minute. Right after I use the little boys' room. No one's around, right? Here's a shot of my Gaiters. They're made by Bluefield. They have been awesome. They have a drawstring back here to keep them pulled against your leg. They have a good strap right here to hold them against your shoe. They have a little hook up here to hold them onto your bootlace. And they Velcro up the front. Now, I've used these so much that when you tear the Velcro open, it actually has begun to tear the seams open. And the sewing is really good. It's just that if you do it so many times, it really, look at this, it's pulling the stitching off. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to order some more. I like this brand. I like these Gaiters. And so I'm going to get some more of the same kind, but I'm going to wait until fall because it's late February and hopefully spring is on the way, so there's no point in buying some more. I'm making do with these and they work just fine. Micro spikes are doing awesome. Digging into that snow. This is the first time I've used actual micro spikes and I'm really impressed, especially going downhill. I haven't slipped once. I haven't missed my hiking poles. I love hiking poles, but I can never bring them because I'm always filming. I've got a camera in my hand. What good is a hiking pole? Now, if I have a tent that uses them, I'll just tuck them in my pack and use them that way. But I really do like things to have more than one use when I bring them with, more than one purpose. So, anyway, I don't have the hiking poles and I haven't slipped at all. And this trail is really packed down and slippery. I would be sliding all over the place without my micro spikes, so pretty pleased with them. The boots, this is the last year for these boots. I can't remember who makes them. They're on the tongue here. I got these are probably $80 from JCPenney, their online store, and they've been excellent. And I bought 2 pairs of waterproof hiking boots from JCPenney, of all places. But they've been waterproof. The problem is the cushion inside is worn down. I've had these a couple of years now, 2 winters worth, and I also wear them daily, and so they've really lost their cushion. So this is it for them. When winter's over, these go away. As for my beanie, it's just a standard beanie with fleece lining, nothing special. Made by a company called Frostbite. I bought it at a gas station. No big deal. It works fine. And then this is my winter coat here, made by Want Do. I guess that's how you say that. I found this on Amazon. I've talked about it before, but it was $80. And then it went on sale, a flash sale, it was like 30 bucks. So I jumped on it and I bought it. Has been fantastic. It's incredibly warm, but also sadly probably its last year of use. And the reason why is this zipper has started to separate. The teeth are broken down right through here. It gets kind of snagged. Sometimes when I zip it up, this part reopens. And then the other problem is I was carrying my cat when I moved into my house. And he kind of freaked out as I was carrying him to the car because he knew he was getting in the car and he did not like that. And he wigged out and tore my coat open. So the insulation is sticking through. I'll hang on to this as a backup coat next winter, but I'm going to be in the market for a new one come fall. Very warm, as you can see, fleece lining. It's made in China, but I'm pleased with this product. It's kind of gross. I haven't washed it in a while. But the thing is, this coat, I wear it all the time, not just when I go hiking or backpacking. So that zipper wearing out after a couple years of use is to be expected. It's my daily wear coat. So yeah, it's been good. It's super warm, obviously, or I wouldn't be sweating like I am. And one more thing, I did bring a pair of winter gloves that are in here. I don't want to dig them out right now. They're kind of in there, and I'd rather get to camp and put them on. Because once I sit still, I'm starting to cool down now. Once we get up there and sit down, I'm going to really cool down. And it's kind of in a little cove where there won't be much sunlight, it looks like today. Very overcast. Okay, so that bushcraft shelter that I told you about, that I showed you a clip of, is right at the top of this hill. Just right up there. But right at the moment, I don't feel like going up there. I've cooled down significantly. I had to get warm again, obviously. So I kind of lied. I put my gloves on. These are made by Bayway. I don't know, 35. I don't know how you say that. It's funny, all this stuff I buy is less expensive because I can't afford raising 2 kids by myself, paying a mortgage. I can't afford a $600 tent and $80 gloves. So I buy what I can afford, but still functional. And a lot of these name brands that I get from Amazon, I can't pronounce them and have never heard of them. So, but they work, you know, they work. They aren't so cheap that they're just crap. So anyway, I got my earmuffs on underneath my beanie. I love these things. A gift from my mom many years ago. Still going strong. I have a black pair as well. She gave me a leopard skin pair. I remember it was Christmas. And I gave those to my wife at the time, my late wife. She loved them, but anyway, I have the black ones and red ones still. Oh, look at this. This has been turned into a sledding hill. This trail is usually pretty narrow. In fact, you have to squeeze through the vegetation in the summer. It's just big and wide. Just the way I like them. That looks really fun. I kind of wish I'd brought a sled. Except you'd go right off that embankment. Whoom! Snowboard, definitely. Or skis. But our camp is just up here. I'm kind of sinking, even with the micro spikes on this. This snow is softer than the rest of the trail. Up we go. Kind of goes up here and then it levels out. It goes into a little ravine. Neat little secret spot I know about. It's probably not going to be so secret after this video.
Morning.
Hello. Very friendly snowboarders. Just letting them get by me. I asked them if I could film them. They said yes. It was very nice of them. I don't usually film people at all when I do these videos, because I don't want them seeing my YouTube video later and going, hey, you know, you never know. It's better to err on the side of safety and not film people without their knowledge. Okay, so it looks like the snowboarders came from Coldwater Canyon because it's that way. And as you can see, they've been through here. Our trail is this way and has been walked on very little. We go down that ravine and up that other side, and right up there, right up in there, it levels out, and that's where the campsite is. Don't know if you guys just heard that, the loud thud. Don't know what that was. Having a Blair Witch moment. I'm so scared right now. Look at this tree. How rotted out it is. All the way down. Normally, there's a creek running through here that I would get my water from when I camp here. This has not been traversed in some time. Well, sure, I'm glad I got gaiters on. This is the creek. Camp's right there. Whew. Down that side, up this side. Good thing I already know where this is. There's no trail to follow. Whew. Deer. Nope. I don't know what that is, but it's got paws. They're kind of large and pretty far apart. It's not a rabbit, is it? No. Rabbits typically have 2 back leg prints and then 2 front ones. I don't know what that is. A fox? Coyote? Who knows? Believe it or not, this is camp. I think my fire pit is buried under all this snow as I hung my hammock here. I'm pretty sure that's where the fire pit was. So, what we need to figure out is where to sit down, because everything's buried under feet of snow. Whoa! And when I say feet, up to my knee. See my knees right there? Take a step. There we go. Let's find somewhere to sit down. Okay, so because there was no bear up there discernible to sit, I've backtracked. You can see my tracks. Instead of going back down there, I'm going to make use of these logs right here. And we will hang out right here and make this our base camp, which won't be much of a camp. It's just sitting down and eating lunch. Whew. Beautiful. Okay, so I've brushed the snow off that branch and set my pack there. It's pretty solid. And then I cleaned some snow and ice off of this log and put my sit pad there so my feet can be down there. Should be all right. I can make my food right here in between the two. Okay, that's a little high. I gotta be careful where I put this camera. It doesn't want to stay on the log. Okay, this will work. Let's get out the food. Okay, so I'm getting some water heated up with my espit pot. And what I've decided to do is tuck the cinnamon roll in there. It's just a little too gooey in the middle. I like the flavor, but the texture's gross, so it's heating up in here alongside the main course. In the meantime, I've got to get this espit stove going and get something warm to drink. Okay, I got a little flame going. We don't need much water, and it doesn't need to be boiling. So there's just enough of an espit cube down in there to take care of what we need. So I'm improvising. The water's getting hot, and I just stuck the MRE in the hot water, folded it over. It's just not good lukewarm. It's kind of gross. This just isn't going well, guys. All of a sudden, this outing, not that it's a disaster, but just isn't going like I planned. But that's life, isn't it? It's getting steamy. Okay, only 2 minutes left filming this direction. Let's go ahead and let's take that out. Let's put this in. That's what she said. So many lame jokes. Alright. Stir it up. Well, that's it. We're all cleared out. My backpack's on. Like some little creature hopped along here and lives right in that hole down there. Look at that. That's cool. Wonder what that is. Anyone know? It's got 4 little feet. Maybe a squirrel.